Hello, it's Kimmy, guys, and I am here to tell you how you can make some of this apostille money that we keep hearing about. So, as you guys know, I actually process apostilles, and I love it, right? But you may be a notary that says, you know what, I want some of this apostille money, or you don't even have to be a notary, but I don't want to go through all the work of learning all these different processes. I don't want to do the paperwork. I don't want to drive to the Secretary of State, right? So I'm going to give you 3 ways today how you can actually get in on this apostille money that's out there in these streets, right? So the first way is actually serving as an apostille agent. What is that? So you're the person that's actually going to do the processing, right? So you're going to get the document from the client. You're going to take it to the Secretary of State or whoever issues the apostilles in your state. You're going to help get it processed and you're going to give it back to the client, right? The regular run-of-your-mill apostille agent. But then there's a person that says, you know what? I'm not interested in learning these processes. I don't want to know what level 1, 2, or 3 is. I don't want to know nothing about the Secretary of State. What's a Hague, non-Hague? I have 0 interest. Well, that's okay. You can still put it on your notary site. The Apostille Services are offered. You're going to find you a notary buddy in your area and you're going to refer it to them. So you'll accept it, take a portion, give it to the person for processing, right? Now, what does that look like? So Angela and I actually have done that before when we first started. So she received the call, I assisted her, she gave me a portion of the money. So if you're actually just referring it to another notary for processing, the whole thing from beginning to end, your fee might be something like around maybe the $50 to $75 range, depending on where you are. It might even be $100. So you can call another notary and say, hey, I have an apostille that needs to be processed. I'm requesting $75 for referring it to you. They take it and they do the rest. You're out of it. So you're just referring it. Just like anybody else, you refer a car, they may pay you a little commission, okay? So that's the second way that you can make money as a part of this apostille thing that's going on. You don't process it, you just refer it, okay? So that's going to call for you getting a notary buddy in your area. I would already have at least a list of 2 or 3 other notaries that actually don't mind the whole process, and you let them know up front, I want to work this deal with you. Okay, so this is a trust thing. So hopefully you can find 2 or 3 good notaries in your area. And again, that conversation sounds like this. I'm going to put it on my Google page that I offer the service. As the apostille comes in, I'm not going to process it. I will be forwarding it to you. And then per every apostille that I refer you, upon completion or whenever they get paid, you want to get paid. And I'm thinking again between a range between $50 and $100 depending on where you're located. That way the other notary already knows, well, I have a connection with Kimberly. She's going to be feeding me referrals and I have to account for that in her pricing. Okay, so that's your second way. Your third way is going to be serving as an apostille courier. Now, what does that mean? So, for example, I live 30 minutes from the Secretary of State office. There may be another notary that's 4 hours away and her client needs expedited service. Well, instead of her trying to send it to the Secretary of State and through FedEx, UPS, local mail, whatever, and that could add on another 3 or 4 days, she sends it to me directly. I'm boots on the ground. I physically drive it to the Secretary of State, let them put the apostille on it, and I send it back directly. So now she can charge her client expedited services, right? So she gets paid for processing. You get paid for being the courier and helping to get it done exponentially or fast. Okay, so that's the third piece. So let me explain that third piece again, because I know you all are saying, what? I can make money? Yes. So again, there may be a notary in your area that would pay you to take the document into the office for them because they live far away. Okay, so in my case, so for example, let's say the notary in Savannah, she's like, hey, I got to get this done for my client in 2 days. Well, they send it to me. I physically go to the office because I'm only 30 minutes away. I get it done and send it back. Now she charges, again, that extra fee to the client, right? So for those of you who do not know what an apostille is is a special certification that goes on top of a document before it can leave the United States to go to another country. such as Jamaica. Not only will local notaries in your state need you as a courier, but sometimes, for example, someone needs a document done I'm in Georgia, so we'll just use Georgia. Someone from California needs a document done here. So again, to eliminate some of that travel time, they're going to do Apostille Services in Georgia. I'm going to populate. They're going to say, hey, Kimberly, can I send you this document? You take it to the local Secretary of State for me and send it right back, right? That's quicker than them sending it to the office. 3 to 4 days travel here, 3 to 4 days travel there. No, we're going to eliminate all that. Another reason somebody may want you to physically walk the document into the Secretary of State instead of mailing it is to make sure it's done correctly. Sometimes, say for example, a notary has sent the document to the Secretary of State. It took 3 days to get there. It arrives at the Secretary of State, and now it's like, wow, this document is not correct. We can't process it. So now they got to send it back 3 more days, right? So the customer's just waiting and waiting and waiting. They're trying to get married over in the Dominican Republic, and their document is just in limbo. It's either stuck in mail or stuck at the Secretary of State's office. Well, we're going to eliminate that. Why? Because as the other notary knows, if I walk it into the office, if your Secretary of State is open now, most of them are, if I walk it into the office, they're going to look at it right that second and say, oh, this is not done correctly. Then I have to call that notary and let her know, so she's not just waiting and hanging 3 more days to see if it's right or if it's wrong, right? When you're processing apostilles, it's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. So you may have thought you did it correctly, but you did not. So another way to guarantee that it's done correctly is I'm standing there in the local office with the paper and with the document, and they can say yes or no. And I can let the other notary know, hey, I just got it done, so I'll be shipping it back out to you. You should receive it in the morning. So what people are paying for here is, again, service, expedited service. So you need a physical body for that, okay? While we're talking about courier services too, as a notary, people may need you just to take a package from one part of town to another. List that on your Google page, courier services. Be cautious when we talk about courier services because you want to make sure you're not transporting anything illegal, right? So you would have to come up with some type of screening questions, maybe what's in the box, what's in the package, you know, stuff like that. But I would add that also. If you feel comfortable, add courier services, because sometimes people just cannot get out from their office and they like, dog, I gotta get this package to downtown, and they can't do it. But you can, because you already out in these notary streets, right? You already running around driving and doing stuff, so you can easily get there. So there's so many different things that you can do with your notary stamp or your notary commission, and this is just 2 more that you can add. So you already know you can be an apostille agent, you could be the referring person for apostilles, and then you could be the courier or carrier for the apostilles, okay? So you can either be the apostille agent that processes it from beginning to end. You could be the referring person for an apostille, get you a couple notary buddies in your area that you kind of contract with and let them know, hey, as I refer you someone, I expect this feedback. Or you can be the apostille courier, where you actually take the document, no other processing involved. You physically take it to the office and then give it back to the originating notary. So those are ways you can make money as an apostille agent. Check out all my videos on apostille. I have about 5. If you need additional apostille training, also check us out at notaryeducatorsllc.com. For any of your notary training, we have you. notaryeducatorsllc.com. Until next time, guys, this is Kimmy. Bye.